Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Yeah! And today, as we work our way backwards through the letter M, we're still in the MOs, but we're about to finish with the MOs. Yes, that'll be really good. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I see what I've done. Oh, good Lord. Okay, fine. You ready? We're dealing with the modern jazz quartet. I have a good clump of them here. I love the modern jazz quartet. I used to see them live back in the day when I was in college in the 80s. They were a wonderful group. The difference between them and everybody else in the jazz universe, pretty much, at least when they got started, not so much when they finished, is that they were, first of all, a concert organization. They wanted not to play only in like smoke-filled nightclubs. They wanted to actually be in a concert setting, and their music was very sophisticated, very cool sometimes, heavily influenced by Baroque music, counterpoint, Bach particularly. And it was just a joy to listen to them. John Lewis, who was their pianist, the principal guy in the group, was an amazing artist, absolutely phenomenal. He recorded a sort of jazz/blues version of Book One of the Well-Tempered Clavier for Phillips, actually. It's quite marvelous. I have it somewhere around here. I think it's over there in Bach. Anyway, let's just talk about what we have here. We have John Lewis, Milt Jackson vibraharp, or vibraphone, depending on how you look at it, Percy Heath bass, and Connie Kay drums, with Diane Carroll on vocals in La Cantatrice. Yes, there's a cantatrice in this thing. The first disc, these are all recorded for, let's see, what labels is Atlantic Jazz, The Comedy. I mean, they made albums, they had concepts, they had, it wasn't just, however wonderful improvisational jazz is, more improvisational and club jazz, or whatever you want to call it, the various kinds of jazz. There are a million different kinds. This group was special. I'm just telling you, they were. So we have Spanish Steps, Columbine, Pulcinella, Pierrot, Harlequin, La Cantatrice, with Diane Carroll, and Piazza Navona. And this is, of course, Commedia dell'arte inspired jazz. That's what's so wonderful. I love the eclecticism. I love the openness to influences, the willingness to allow other kinds of music some sort of entree, and then, of course, to treat it in their own inimitable way. I mean, the very constituents of this group make them sound so unique. Piano, vibraphone, bass, and drums. It's an eclectic and ill-balanced ensemble, which requires them to really listen to each other in order to bring the textures and the rhythms of the music to full flower. So yeah, it's great. So there's that one. Then we have, which one is this? Three Windows with the New York Chamber Symphony. So there you go. This is Three Windows, Kansas City Breaks, Encounter in Cannes, Django, and A Day in Dubrovnik. I saw them do A Day in Dubrovnik live. It's a three-movement, essentially, practically a symphony. It's in three movements, afternoon, night, and morning. And it lasts about 17, 18 minutes. It's just a marvelous piece. Absolutely fabulous piece. I remember the introduction, John Lewis was talking, and he's like saying, well, we're talking about being in that wonderful European city that you all know so well, Dubrovnik. And we were like, huh? Where? Yeah, Dubrovnik? Well, yes, it's wonderful. It's a beautiful city, by the way, but it wasn't the place I expected them to be celebrating. And it was just amazing that they did. So there's that one. I love A Day in Dubrovnik. You will too. Original film score, No Sun in Venice. This is the original film score. So let's see. It's by John Lewis. He wrote the score, and he got his crew to actually produce the whole thing. I have no idea what the movie sounds like, or looks like, or what happens in the movie, and I'm not terribly interested, actually, but I did enjoy the music tremendously. There are the movements are called the Golden Striker, One Never Knows, the Rose Truc, Cortege, Venice, and Three Windows. So that's film score. Let me see what these people did. They could do anything. Atlantic 1231 Fontessa. So it's Fontessa, Atlantic 1231. It must be the catalog number of the album on Atlantic. We've got Versailles, Port de Versailles, Angel Eyes, Fontessa, Over the Rainbow, Bluesology, Willow Weep for Me, and Wouldn't You? Like, wouldn't you like to have a beaut? No, it's not that. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have Lonely Woman. Here they are. Lonely Woman, Animal Dance, New York 19, Belkis. That's it, Belkis, Queen of Sheba. Why Are You Blue? Fugato. There's a Fugato. A contrapuntal Fugato thing here. Lamb Leopard, If I Were Eve, and Trieste, which is kind of across the water there from Dubrovnik. They hung out in that area, evidently. So that's lovely. And then we've got the dedicated to Connie. This is a live recording. Recorded live in Ljubljana, Slovenia, May 27th, 1960. And it's got, well, this is some of the works we've already talked about. Round Midnight is on here. One of their classic numbers, actually. And Django, which we already talked about. Vendôme, Skating in Central Park. A whole bunch of things and others besides. So it's a 2-disc extravaganza. This one is Under the Jasmine Tree. Yes, we have Blue Necklace. 3 Little Feelings, parts 1, 2, and 3. Another long work, 14 and a bit minutes. An extended piece, quite lovely. Exposure, which is 9 minutes. And The Jasmine Tree. Really fabulous. Percy Heath on the bass is wonderful here, I have to say. He was a great bass player. I mean, you really hear him supporting the whole ensemble. It's just wonderful. Then we've got Blues on Bach. Yeah, Blues on Bach. This is great. Regret, it's called, ? And then Blues in B flat, Rise Up in the Morning. Blues in A minor, Precious Joy. Blues in C minor, Don't Stop This Train. Blues in B natural, and Tears from the Children. Yes, based on Bach. Hey, you know, totally cool. Actually, I like my Bach better the way these guys do it than I often like Bach the way Bach did it. So there. And finally, the complete last concert. This happened in, when was this? 1989, it looks like. This is printed in 1989. And this is the whole thing. You get some bonus tracks and some of their classics, you know, Night in Tunisia and Blues in B natural. These are all on here. You get to hear them do some of the stuff that they took into the studio live. And it's wonderful, wonderful and enjoyable. And I love them. I just love them to death. So, yes, if you don't know the Modern Jazz Quartet, give it a shot. You will be very, very pleasantly surprised at just how enjoyable the whole thing is. Even if you're not necessarily a jazz fan, I think that they burst the bounds of the medium, you know, as Kapustin did, for example, and other people. And they just were great all-around musicians who were able to infuse everything they did with their own sensibility. And it's really quite special. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.